is next. And we say hello to James Creedon.
Hi, Francois.
We began this hour with Donald Trump taking to task the CNN reporter. He also took to task Buzzfeed, which published that report that we talked about at the outset.
Confusing times when fake news as a term is being bandied around left and right, and some people consider that's fake, other people consider that's fake. For Donald Trump and for a lot of conservative media, the reports that have emerged from BuzzFeed, as they were reported first by CNN but not in the details, are fake. And what we're seeing is an increasingly muddied and unclear, I suppose, political media landscape when it comes to those claims. Anyway, we'll start with the New York Times headline. BuzzFeed posts unverified claims on Trump, igniting a debate. Now, BuzzFeed says, or the New York Times has said that they have seen these reports, which they consider to be unsubstantiated, and they've made the decision to not publish it, as several other media also decided, The Guardian as well, which we'll come to in a moment. But BuzzFeed themselves, you can see here on one of their web pages, what you need to know about the secret Trump dossier. An unverified memo alleges ties between Trump and Moscow, etc. So they're admitting themselves that it's an unverified memo, which they then went on to publish. Now, Ben Smith sent this memo, this note, to the BuzzFeed staff. He's the chief editor there. And in that memo, he said, publishing this dossier reflects how we see the job of reporters in 2017. He also said BuzzFeed News is publishing the full document so that Americans can make up their own minds. Now, that does indeed, I think, pose some serious questions. For The Guardian, they put it very clearly in their headline, BuzzFeed publishes unsubstantiated Trump report raising ethics questions. Essentially, the question is it the job of journalists or not to verify information, or is it the job of the public? Because what BuzzFeed is basically doing is renouncing vis-a-vis that journalistic responsibility, you would say, to verify information before publishing it, allowing it, leaving it up to the public to do so. Now, he also mentions, Ben Smith, that this is how we see the job of reporters in 2017. I think what he's referring to there is the fact that if BuzzFeed didn't publish this, it would have found its way onto the internet somehow or other, onto social media, and the information would have got out there. So BuzzFeed, as is typical of a website of its nature, is chasing after the buzz effect and wanting to get ahead of it, and in the process perhaps changing the rules of the game when it comes to journalism. And what we did see as a result of BuzzFeed's publishing the memo is that Twitter lit up with all sorts of details that were contained in that memo regarding alleged supposed behaviour in a hotel room in Moscow and all of that, and hashtag golden shower. People can go and look that up if they want, but I'm not necessarily going to go into the details. Coming back to The Guardian for a second, they made another very important point. The decision to put the claims in the public domain forced other media outlets to repeat the allegations or ignore a story that had lit up the internet. So essentially, BuzzFeed caused this to
which
go
can be
completely
libelous,
viral.
right? Because if you repeat something that is libelous, well, it makes you liable to a certain degree.
Right, and I guess it also plays into claims that the media who claim to be the responsible bearers of journalistic ethics are themselves stepping into very uncertain grey zones where they can be charged with disseminating fake news themselves. So it's certainly creating a very complicated picture. Just very quickly to point out how Donald Trump responded. We saw on online fake news and claims that this is similar to living in Nazi Germany.
Out, as we were saying, at the intelligence agencies, not just at the reporters. There.
That's right. And then what we saw was, I suppose, a lot of criticism. One sec, I'm getting lost between all the tweets of the media in question. So Donald Trump called it a pile of garbage, and for some, his comments in today's press conference amounted to a direct threat to BuzzFeed. He also charged CNN with disseminating fake news. And as one person here said, new era people. And I think I would have to agree on that when it comes to what's true, what's false, how to verify it, and who should verify it. Certainly, we're in sort of, I think, relatively uncharted waters in that regard.
And the tone the president elect of the United States uses. Many thanks for that, James Creedon. I want to thank our panelists once again. Thank you for joining us here in the France 24 debate.